Hi guys, welcome back. It's Evelyn from Twin Flames 3344. I have sand art, I have a Divine Feminine read for you today, as well as oracle cards at the end. I've been away visiting my daughter this past week in Atlanta, and so I'll tell you a little bit about that as well. And so we're going to just get started. It's November 27th, 2018. Please forgive me if I trip over my words. I was traveling today, so I'm a little tired and a little off. But okay. I want to get right into the sand art first. But first, just a few things about my trip. Just to give you an idea of what the energies were like this week. Everything was fine. I'm Virgo, so I'm usually used to the Mercury retrogrades. It doesn't faze me too much. I've learned over the years that it's always a time for me to just go back and review things, not so much anything to fear or to block things. I do probably avoid signing things during Mercury retrograde. However, my travel was fine. I purposely made my travel far out from the actual Thanksgiving holiday, so it would be a little cheaper and also a little easier. You know, I wouldn't be dealing with the crowd so much. And it was a wonderful week. As soon as I came down there, it cleared up and we had great sunny weather all week until... which day was that? Well, towards the end of the week, I don't know if it was Friday or Saturday. Maybe, oh, Saturday. We ended up going to the mall finally, and we were there for about a half an hour when the power went out in the entire mall, which was amazing to me since I have never been in a mall or an airport that went out completely in my life until I took my daughter to Atlanta. And the first time when I moved her there and we flew into Atlanta, on the way out, the airport was completely shut down and we had to leave 2 days late because of that. And now this trip to Atlanta, the mall was completely shut down. We waited about a half an hour to see if the lights would go back on, and it wasn't going back on. So now my daughter and I are known for shutting down major facilities in Atlanta. Then, Saturday, I got in a little accident. I was driving my daughter's car. We were going out to dinner with her roommate downtown, and as we were getting off the exit, the person in front of me stopped short, and I actually was able to stop behind them, but the guy behind me in a Ram truck rammed me into the car in front of me. But everything worked out really well. There wasn't actually a spot on the car in front of me, which was pretty unbelievable, although our car got it from the front and the back. But we were able to take it in and get the rental car and everything all settled up yesterday, so it worked out very well. Not reacting to the situation and allowing, even though we had to wait for the police for an hour and a half and they never showed up, so we left the other two cars there waiting for the police. A very interesting getaway. So now that I'm back and a little bit settled, the sand art was very interesting. I just did this a little while ago today. I saw big front teeth, so someone who has big front teeth. Also molars were being pronounced, as well as food stuck on teeth, and lips were being shown, as well as cheek muscles. Like, you know how you get knots in your muscles, but people don't usually focus on any of their facial muscles, so I was seeing like knots in your facial muscles. So someone might be having some pain in their face, so you might just want to massage your face. Also, I was seeing like an evil sorcerer, but it was like, who's that cartoon character with kind of like an E.T. head, you know, a big head, but he's got this little like goatee beard. I don't know if you know who it is, you know, comment below. But like a comical evil sorcerer. But then I was seeing a mouse with cape and hat who also looked like a movie or cartoon character, but it was a little mouse with a cape and had a little hat, and it looked more feminine, could have been a masculine. But then next to it I saw like a rat detective, and then I see this mouse with the cape and hat scheming with this rat detective. So if that resonates with anyone, let me know, because that's definitely what's coming up. There was a mouse and a rat, or it could have been a little rat. I was also getting Gonzo, but like an old Gonzo, old, like if he grew old. Old with a taped up beak and maybe taped up around the eyes, like someone had been injured or had surgery. Also saw a stinger, like on a bee or a wasp, something like that. I also saw an elephant. ETs shooting out from a twister or a cyclone, so maybe someone sees something. Someone dunking their head underwater, as well as someone spitting into someone else's mouth, which was funny because I was just watching some America's Got Talent with my daughter when I was away, and one of the acts, they were spitting into each other's mouths, so that was pretty funny that that came up. Also, I saw a corset, a twister into the earth, like an oil rig, but not necessarily an oil rig, but I was seeing like a twister going into the earth, like into a cavern. Also a stovetop hood, okay, so like the fan. Also taffy, like twisted taffy. Also a C-section, like the surgical table where the light was being held over the C-section with the wound open while they were working on it. You know, with a light that bends, you know, you can bend it. Flexible light was coming up. So you guys need to be flexible light. Also a breakthrough, and this was referencing also a breakthrough the ceiling or the veil. And also angels to the rescue. Then I was getting a broken pipe with underground drilling, like gas lines, and again when I got home there was, even though I had it checked by the gas company, there's a lot of gas smell in my house. So and that came up with the coding as well today. So if there's protections coming up, so if you have a gas smell, make sure you have it checked out, okay? Digging deep for emotions came up, as well as fireworks. Again, pipe breaks. And a hood again, but I was getting like, you know, underneath the sink, the U connector in the pipe, so the rounded part, that's where I was seeing a break in a line, or a dam may break as well. And then I was seeing an infinity pool with a slide on a mountain, so up the mountains. Also water or emotions pooling, so leveling out, and gases released. I was seeing a masked man hiding in the mountains, also a chalet in the mountains. And this man, the masked man hiding in the mountains, does one eyebrow up like that. I used to be able to do it. I can only lift one eyebrow, but you know, someone has one eyebrow up and not the other one. Also saw Mr. Magoo, and then a turtle jumping and ski jumps. So I don't know if there's a ski jump called turtle jump. I was seeing also ski jumpers in tandem, like holding on to the clouds, like, you know, when you're jumping so high, it's like holding on to the clouds. And then chairlifts, as well as a spaceship, if not landing, making a drop at this mountain. Okay, so I was seeing a lot about up the mountains. All right, so now I'm going to get into the read. So we have the Divine Feminine read for today, November 27, 2018. 27 is the Ace of Wands. It's a 9, so it's of endings, compassion, universal selflessness. And it's the 7 of spirituality on the inside, the 2 of the feminine energy, great at seeing both sides of the situation, and balancing, being the Ace of Wands, okay? So the day adds up to 49-4, which is the 9 of Cups, which is the Get Your Wish card, okay? It's being satisfied, very happy as a single person on your own, a lot of satisfaction. But it is a 4, so it's about stability and building ultimately, somewhat manifesting on this 3D plane. But it's the 9 of selflessness on the inside and compassion, and the 4 of stability and responsibility on the outside. So someone who looks like they're very dependable and responsible, but very actually universally compassionate on the inside. That's the day today. So the Ace of Wands and 9 of Cups is really positive energy from today. So that's, you know, Ace of Wands is about passionate new beginnings, being inspired. Has to do with sexuality as well as creativity and just physical movement. And then the 9 of Cups is all about emotional fulfillment. So, and 21s were actually coming up today when I went to the airport. 21s, and then I ended up being, I was behind license plate 2121, and then I was at gate D21. And Charlie was coming up a lot for my daughter this week, so if that means anything to you guys as well, Charlie's been coming up a lot. For the Divine Feminine, it was done at 2:37 to 2:38 was done. The major arcana were Ascension and Indigo, which is the World and the Magician. Okay, that's some powerful energy there. Okay, we had 4 wands for the Divine Feminine. 4 wands, 2 swords, 2 pentacles, 1 cup. The court cards were the Knight of Swords, the King of Wands, the Page of Cups, and the Queen of Wands. The numbers that came up in the coding and the read were the number 4 was the coding number, and then 77 as well as 4221 also came up. So again, the 4 seems to be significant, as well as the 77. So the coding had to do with the stability of support, or for supporting the stability for the Divine Feminine. So seeing the key in the Divine Feminine, or seeking the Divine Feminine and her passion, her inspiration, her intuition and self-love, what it comes down to. So all the coding had to do with intuition and self-love. All right, so it's really about where the Divine Feminine gets her inspiration from is intuition and self-love, but also receiving support for that as well, feeling that stability. The coding that came up online was everything about safety. That's why I brought that up before when smelling gas. All of the headers that came up, I'll just go through quickly. The first one was rekindling the flame of the ancients with Ju, J-U, /Reiki Master, ... But it was about the Bushmen and the tracking art, and how there's so few tracking masters anymore, and that the hunters of the old need a deal with the life seekers of today, a new earth contract. So I think that was pretty cool how they worded that, but it was an article about the Bushmen. 4 main phases of a twin flame relationship came up, and that was from the Mind's Journal. And then Creula Windseeker, so it was about a boat from windseeker.org, a 4-masted gaff schooner, and the sail surface of it was 1244 meters squared. 1244. So the numbers were significant to me. But this boat it was commented that it has a classroom and a library on board. So pretty cool boat. And then another header was about a wealthy family of 4 who were all murdered as their house went up in flames, and that was this month. And that came out of dailymail.co.uk, so it was out of the UK, but it was about a New Jersey family, a CEO of a company, and his family that were killed in this fire. And his brother had a house fire just before this fire was reported. But the brother, the 4 who died, they think it was a murder. They don't think it was something that the couple did to themselves. But the brother, whose house went on fire before that, claimed it was from a gas leak. So again, gas leak came up. So very important to not ignore that, because the next header was PPE safety solutions, and then the next one was today in 1937, and this read was done at 37, was Hindenburg goes down in flames, killing 36. 36, 37, okay. And then the next header was NFPA safety tips, home fire sprinklers. And then the next one was week 7 fantasy sleepers. And it was just a sports heading about Darkwa, a bright light in Giants. So they were talking about some game. But sleepers came up. So be careful, when you're sleeping, you don't want something bad to happen at night. And then the last one was racing. LA, buckle up for a second star named LeBron. So again, buckle up. So all these safety warnings were coming up. So make sure you don't ignore symptoms of something that may be more severe. And gas lines may actually be public gas lines, not just the ones within the home. So pay attention to that stuff. So going into the Divine Feminine read, also the number 14 came up, which is the Temperance. 77 is the Knight of Pentacles, which is also an amazing card. And then the 4 is the Emperor. So some very powerful energy here. And balanced energy. So within the Divine Feminine read, I just have to tell you right now, there's a lot of fire in there, okay? There were several Ace of Wands, there were several Devils in the read, as well as several King of Wands in the read. Okay, so just give you an idea of some of the energy that was in there. And again, we have the King and Queen of Wands here, the Page of Cups, and the Knight of Swords. The full moon was starting off the read as the work of the devil. That there's, you know, like one big flame. So if there were any fires coming up, it was saying, like, because we've just had this full moon, that is the work of the devil. Okay, the devil's workshop at the full moon with all these crazy energies. But the first card was the Ace of Flames. Okay, so there's a cup of love offered, but it's stranded in the middle of the ocean, which is also emotional waters. Okay, but there's also this new passion to go after it, to go after that love offer. The King of Wands comes up right here with he's looking right at the flame, or actually what's igniting the flame, like how he gets that flame started. The King of Wands has his eye on the Ace of Flames, or the cause of it. Dreams are out and wishing on a star, but the Page of Cups, a message of love. And I was getting like that, you know, like when I left today, my daughter sending me a little sweet message, a text message. And she is a Pisces, so that falls right in line with a Page of Cups type of thing. But Page of Cups message was coming up of love to the Divine Feminine, leaving or walking away to find peace, as the King of Wands studies the effects of the full moon on the workplace environment and people's shadow side, and how it brings the shadow side out, because you know how much busier hospitals and ERs are at the full moon. So then I was wondering too, like just at your workplace, and my daughter works at a gym, so I was wondering who's going to be approaching her tonight, so I'll have to find that out later. So there's a message of there's a message or news about a contract with the King of Pentacles reversed. So it could be just a King of Pentacles who's normally, you know, a great man who takes care of a lot of other people, who may just be ungrounded at the moment, or it could be someone who's very greedy, or it could be someone who's lost some money and status recently. But this King of Pentacles reversed is also walking away in order to be present in the moment now, to gain clarity on a split, a lie, or duplicity of the King of Wands. So they could be partners, this King of Wands and King of Pentacles reversed. The underlying energy is stay optimistic, and under that was trust for the Divine Feminine. So stay optimistic and trust, have faith. The King of Swords is being watched, as the Queen of Cups nurtures. There's a nightmare of love at work, in new passion as the flames burn the past. And the New Beginnings card comes up in the numerology deck as the underlying energy as well. The truth of heaven in their eyes, or just heaven, or having all the options you've always desired. Maybe 3 or 3.5 options. Waiting for the guillotine, or possibly just 2 swords through the heart, or 1.5 swords through the heart. Resting, dreaming, meditating, but intuitive, and floating with a mask on in the crescent of the moon, blocked by holding on to money or energy or things, people, savings, or needing to shell out some money, possibly for a car. Okay, like we had to shell out some money this week. But it's really around this, the King of Swords and the Queen of Cups energy, so both of them. And I was definitely getting them as the Divine Feminine and the Divine Masculine this week. Although, you know, fit the characters to your own situation, because everyone's at a different place in their journey. Okay? So this is still all underlying energies. The King of Wands' passion for holding on to a divide. Optimistic and passionate about burning the past for a new beginning. And creativity was under this new beginning as underlying energy. Okay, so again, the King of Wands could be the Divine Masculine, and may not be. King of Swords could be the King of Wands. You know, they could both be the same person, and they could be separate people. So however it fits for you. But so far we have this King of Swords and King of Wands and King of Pentacles reversed in the underlying energies. I think we definitely have a King and Queen of Wands, so there's definitely a couple here, whether that's the Divine Masculine with his karmic or the Divine Feminine with her karmic. There's definitely a married couple here, and it could be someone outside your situation, but they're definitely coming up. Recently, so in the recent past, the King of Swords comes up here as implementing or possibly giving some money to your kids or possibly to your twin who may not have an opportunity right now, so someone might be helping the other out so that they can passionately speak their truth and not feel like they're in fear. Maybe they're feeling insecure because they don't have a good money base right now. The foundation for the Divine Feminine has to do with the lovers amidst pain and suffering. Knowing how to use indigo. So whether it's indigo the color or the indigo child or the magician, how to use magic, how to use their magic to transmute the suffering and pain around them. Okay? The lovers was up right here, but it was on top of the indigo card, which is the magician. Centrally was the Three of Pentacles, or in this deck it's the Sirian Starseed deck. The Three of Pentacles is actually the Three of Crystals, and it's also called Trinity on the card. There's a coming together at work that you love, that makes you happy, and this exposes a new life offer to a new love. Could be self-love or new love. We had double aces together. We had Ace of Pentacles and Ace of Cups with the Sun on the center card of the Three of Pentacles, which may represent your workplace. It could represent your Divine Masculine's workplace. Okay, but it's a coming together in work. With the Wounded Warrior, who may have insecurities because he's the Wounded Warrior. And the challenge for the Divine Feminine is the world, or ascension. Suddenly being called to the Queen of Cups, or as the Queen of Cups, and I was getting the download, it's on. Third party, as a Taurus, suddenly leaves or is kicked out in order to clarify the ending of a relationship with an offer to the 5D world angel. Now, in the head and heart of the Divine Feminine, rising above the fires, all the drama, but uninspired to spend money, there's a King of Swords here who's anxious about their instability, or possibly they're moving right now, so they're feeling insecure and unstable and trying to save money because they have a truth and a passionate new beginning in the back of their mind. Okay, so the Magician at work is standing their ground, frustrated, maybe losing family money or just dealing with dysfunctional family. The King of Swords is imprisoned without options, burdened by a marriage or some kind of contract, and wanting a new life with a lover, but staying quiet while he gets clear on new information he's waiting to come in order to protect himself. So he could, you know, he could be investigating a Divine Feminine, he could be investigating someone else. But this is the energy I was getting at. It could be a karmic masculine as well investigating. You know, it depends whose situation you're looking at, and if there's divorces going on, there would definitely be some investigating going on, or some spying, that kind of thing. And then we have detectives coming up in the sand art as well, so don't be surprised if that's the case. Soon in the near future, the Divine Feminine the card is the Seven of Pentacles, but for me this is the Divine Feminine's heart in this deck. So soon it's that Seven of Pentacles, which is really the place where you're reaping rewards. You're able to say, stay still for a moment and enjoy the fruits of your labors. But it's also about daydreaming and planning next steps, what you're going to implement next. But it's about the Divine Feminine's heart being open to welcome new love, romance, and passion, reaping the rewards of emotional detachment right now, and conflicted about offering love. Or a King of Cups reversed comes in here as potentially conflicted about offering love to the Divine Feminine. So this King of Cups can be the Divine Feminine, where she's just enjoying being emotionally detached, because if she's on her own right now, she can be that way. But also we're learning that detachment, not to push our emotions down, but to deal with them on our own and not take those emotions out and react on other people in a negative way. The Divine Feminine is seeing herself as the energy of the King of Wands. So whether it's you're seeing yourself as in your masculine energy, or it's your Divine Masculine you're seeing in your energy, that was what was coming up, the Shaman King of Wands. Holding on to savings foolishly, or skating on thin ice and probably fell on their face because of it. But the foolish energy was just definitely coming up here with that Four of Pentacles energy of holding on. But it doesn't have to be a bad holding on, it could be saving, but there was something foolish that happened that caused this King of Wands energy to fall on their face because it lacked faith. Or holding on to the King of Wands energy foolishly while coming together in divine timing very soon and express your love come up for the Divine Feminine. Okay, so the Divine Feminine is being very aware that it all happens in divine timing, but still may have lacked faith about the situation. But around the Divine Feminine is the main card is the Four of Swords, but the Emperor reversed is on this card. Out of control thinking, dreaming, or healing. Healing from possibly being out in the cold or being left behind. Or this Emperor reverse could be an Aquarius who got injured, or possibly this Emperor or an Emperor reverse and another Aquarius, maybe parents, are worried about their kids who are out in the cold too long and worried that they're not home yet, that kind of thing, or if they've gone skiing or ice skating. There may be some parents who are worried about their kids. And it could be worried about other adults out in the cold as well because the weather got really cold. But it's the energy around the Divine Feminine is really about thinking too much. Hopefully meditating, but it's really coming off more as just doing too much thinking and staying quiet, tight-lipped about things. The Divine Feminine needs to clear blocks of new, pure, innocent love, of opening their heart like a child and being innocent again, or worried about getting dragged into something that will make you weak and unable to maintain your higher vibration. You need to let go of any fears of that, because you're fine. You know what to do in the moment. You don't have to plan ahead. You know what to do. You're in your love space, and if you get triggered, you walk away, okay? And you deal with it on your own. Self-love comes up here, and intuition, like I said earlier, as the cards that came out for the Divine Feminine, as well as, and even more importantly, parenting, physical activity, and abundance. Okay? So really allowing your abundance to come out, with your heart and your actions around your children, and just being physically active with them, and how much fun you can have with your children. So free from the devil, or it says a couple different situations, and the devil came up all around this outcome card, which was the Queen of Wands. So free from the devil for the Divine Feminine, or could be a Capricorn and Aries who are running away together. There's the Queen of Wands devil going after the Fool, and also the angel love of the Divine Feminine versus the devil love of the Queen of Wands comes up, okay? The angel versus the devil. Either way, the Divine Feminine heart will be tied to the Queen of Wands by the devil. So the devil could be represented here as the Divine Masculine, or it could be the Divine Masculine's karmic, or a karmic in your environment who drinks. But there was definitely some codependencies coming up here. It doesn't have to be drinking, but there were definitely cards of someone who's drunk that were reflected here. And devil energy is all around this Queen of Wands energy. And then and the after card was that Eight of Cups, where the Queen of Wands is walking away. So there actually may be karmics who are walking away from the Divine Masculines now. Or it could be, however it works in your situation, the Queen of Wands energy looks like they're walking away or going within. So the Queen of Wands may offer something practical, coming out of hiding. Maybe they were crying a lot or drinking and wanting to make a deal with the devil. Or the Divine Feminine is coming out of isolation to work, or to offer work to work for the devil, or a Capricorn Queen of Wands. So a karmic may offer you work, but be careful of the intentions behind this, all right? Because we have a lot of devil energy here. The angel is passionate and in love with the devil. So that could be another situation. The Queen of Wands walks away or within to end an imbalance and lay down their sword. So this was coming up as death or transformation of brain wars. So there's this, the Five of Swords energy of the person who wants to take everyone down before they get them. It's very much of war, but it's really about your thoughts. It's about being at war with yourself. The King of Wands comes up here in the after read as happy, where the Queen of Wands is reversed, unhappy about completion of this relationship. The King of Wands was a prisoner of the Queen of Wands' passion, not using her intuition and without expressing feelings. So I was getting this over and over again, that the King of Wands wasn't getting the attention that he wanted from this karmic partner. There's no attention for him, and it was a large burden, working very hard to get any passionate movement out of this person in order to get to a new passionate beginning. So then there was in summary, there's new passion of indigo, magician, a King of Wands, for meditating. Maybe the Divine Masculine has a new passion for meditating and sending 5D messages. And at work was coming up here. So he may be working on it. Maybe he's researching this stuff. But sending the messages out to the world to get to the Divine Feminine's heart. So he may be actually sending messages to the Divine Feminine to try to get in touch with them. Maybe they're unable to do it in the 3D way, as she cracks her heart open wide right back to him. So I know that when I feel the energy coming through, I always send messages right back, and I always get a response from my masculine. So it's that kind of thing. But rising above the drama of the Queen of Wands walking away, I was getting this for the Divine Masculine. If the King and Queen of Wands, in your case, is the Divine Masculine with his karmic, it could very well also be the Divine Feminine with her karmic. The devil is at work, arousing passion of the Knight of Swords in order to send these 5D messages magically at work, or in coming together at work, to rise from the ashes, to walk on fire, to tango with the world. The King of Wands enters the Divine Feminine's heart, who comes between the King of Wands and the Queen of Wands, meditating and opening hearts to each other, thinking about new love without this Queen of Wands, who is now walking away. So again, there's several different scenarios here that are coming up, but there's a whole lot of fire there, and there's a whole lot of devil energy, all right? So just be careful about what offers come through, especially if the offer, I wasn't seeing the devil associated with any offers from the masculines, even a karmic masculine. I was getting it from this Queen of Wands. But also realizing that, if you come together with your Divine Masculine and his karmic is this Queen of Wands, you're always going to be connected to her because of the kids. So there needs to be some kind of, meeting each other halfway in that situation, no matter what the personality is, because you have to deal with the situation. So just to take a look at that, and know that, everyone has that shadow side. We do too. So it's about, that. It's just about being neutral in the situation and dealing with things the best way you can and stepping out when you need to. I'm going to pull some oracle cards for you. Just don't go into fear about any situations. A lot of the Divine Feminines don't know what the situation is. So it's very difficult not to go into those feelings of fear because you keep making up stories in your mind about what's really happening when you don't know. And the same can happen on the divine masculine side. It's about letting go of those things. That's why you're in trust and faith, because you know what you feel is the real story. You know the energy that you're dealing with every day, the loving energy that you receive from with your divine masculine or your divine feminine. So from the Ascension deck, take a deep breath, everyone. Take a deep breath. Okay, clear and align. Clear and align. Okay, so today, this November 27, 2018, what is the advice for us? What is the advice for everyone watching today? What is the advice? What is the advice? Okay. Alright, the bottom of the deck is 42, Lord Kumika. Sorry. Okay. And 42-6, 42 is the Two of Cups. The affirmation is, I call on Lord Kumika to enlighten and support me. And Kumika is Kohan of the 8th ray, a soul ray of purification, enlightenment, and communication. So you're on a quest for enlightenment when you receive this card. It's the blue topaz light. So if you want to draw in their energy. The card that came out for you is 46. It's Hilarion. And 46 is the Six of Cups. So we got the Two of Cups and the Six of Cups. Very beautiful energy, actually. And we have the Page of Cups very strongly in this too. It's that innocent, pure love, opening your heart like a child. So 46 reads, Hilarion is from Saturn and steps down his energy through the Temple of Truth over Crete. He is negotiator for Earth on the Council of Saturn and helps us remain connected to our spiritual journey. As master of the orange 5th ray of technology, science, truth, and knowledge, he invites you to open your mind so he can drop seeds for new ideas into your consciousness. He assists those who are ready to become higher channels and clairvoyance. Your guidance is to sit quietly and ask him to help you be all that you can be. And the affirmation for Hilarion is, I open myself to the wisdom and guidance of Hilarion. Okay? So when you do your meditations, if you'd like to connect to that energy, that's what's coming up for us today. Okay, so it's about truth and knowledge, which is right up the divine masculine's alley, because it's about logic and reason and science. Okay. So for the past life deck, take another deep breath. Clear and align. Clear and align. Clear and align. It's November 27, 2018. What is the advice for everyone watching today? What is the advice? What is the advice? What is the advice? What is the advice for everyone watching, period? Okay, we have two coming out. We have the bottom of the deck is Bunker None. Okay, that's the underlying energy. Okay, which I'm just getting to sit in silence, because that popped up at me too from the card when it said to sit in silence. Maybe you might want to try to meditate without any music or anything, and just see how that goes. Or maybe because it's coming up a monk or nun, maybe you want to go to church and sit in silence and do a meditation. Maybe it'll make you feel more spiritual, more connected. The cards that came out are Orphan and Trees. Okay. So the orphan, the little girl here reminds me of the Page of Cups. You know, that innocent energy. And with the orphan always comes up rejection and abandonment issues, injustice. Everything comes up from an orphan's point of view. But it's about, and here we have the sun breaking through the tree, and we got breakthrough in the sand art. So it's allowing the energy to break through the veil. Just reminding you that you're not alone when you see the sun come through the trees. And a reminder too to maybe practice hanging out with your inner child. So just take a picture of you when you were little, maybe a specific age that's significant to you, and just use and ask your inner child every day how they're doing, what they'd like to do today, what you can do for them to make them feel loved today, and see what comes up for you. You know, your inner child, your little you may feel abandoned and rejected and just needs some attention, the light through the trees. And don't forget to ground. You know, this time of year in the areas of the world where it's cold and there's snow, it's hard to get out and spend time in nature. But see what you can do about getting some sun every day, at least looking up to the sun. Get the sun in your eyes. Don't look right at the sun, but you know, to get that energy in your face. There are definitely codes coming through to your eyes. So any little bit you can get, even just for 5-10 minutes, if you can get out in the sun, will be helpful to you, make you feel better. And even a tree, you know, go hug the tree where it's not, there's no snow on it. Yeah, or go play out in the snow with your kids. Just getting to be in silence. Spend some time alone in silence. In prayer or in meditation. Just to relax and ground yourself. And now we're going to do Journey of Love. Okay, so Journey of Love. So take another deep breath. Clear and align. Clear and align. Clear and align. Okay. So what is the advice this November 27, 2018 for everyone who will watch this video? What is the advice? Okay, I've got two cards. The bottom is 36 Cosmic Butterfly, and 36 came up in the read. In the coding, actually, where 36 people were killed in the, I don't know if you can see the bottom of that very well. There we go. Sorry about the lighting. It's really pretty colors here, huh? Anyway, there's 36. And the cards that came out, 36, by the way, is the 10 of Wands. So it's that large burden, you know, you're about to drop, you're taking on too much physical work. It could also be a confession, so that's the underlying energy, like you're about to drop. It's too much. Let go of the burdens. Surrender. So the first card that came out is 55. Okay, acceptance, like in the woods. And that's number 55, like I said, is the Ace of Swords. It's the truth. And Sacred Convergence. Okay, and that one is number 28, which is the Two of Wands, which is a funny story because when I was landing today, I had my little mini deck on the plane with me, so I play on the plane with my cards, and I dropped a couple cards, and then I counted them afterwards because I wasn't sure if I'd gotten them all, and there was one missing. And right as I'm wondering where the other card is, my daughter texted me and said that I left a soldier behind, and it ended up actually being the Two of Wands card. So that's the 28, and I'm going to read you these both. I'm getting very mystical energy from these cards today. You know, like a mystical forest and mystical waters at the edge of the forest with like icebergs, but colored icebergs, and reflections in the water, and angels singing on an iceberg nearby. Yeah, very magical. Alright, so we're going to read, we'll read 55 first, and that's acceptance. You have offered yourself. That's 4455. 4455. 44 is Atlas, but it's the Four of Cups, and then 55 is the Ace of Swords. So it's about acceptance, truth of accepting how much you can really carry, and letting go of that burden. What is your truth? Is your truth to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders? No, that's not your responsibility. Accept what is. You have offered yourself, asked to be of service to the greater good, created something that you want to contribute towards healing of our world, and your offer has been gratefully accepted by the divine. Know this and be at peace. This oracle brings you a message. You are completely received and accepted by the divine, just as you are. There is nothing to change, just to be you, or just you to be. You have made an offering of a prayer, of sacrifice of an attachment, and a giving of a desire to be of service, to make a contribution to the world, and your offer is joyfully being transformed into the seeds of how this can best be. Your next step is about to begin. And the poem reads, shall we find some sunshine amongst the cloudy days? A gentle touch that softly warms and leads us on our way. Past stately oaks and candles glow in places we've never been. A friend to share the memories before it's home again. Okay? So we shall see, and it is for you to just accept. 28. That you're perfect just as you are. There's really nothing you need to do. That's the faith. We keep thinking that there's something we have to do to get where we're going, and we don't, because we're being guided. Okay? So sacred convergence is 28, and that says, there's a coming together happening within your body and soul, a unification of all that is within you. This is akin to traveling to a strange land, as all sorts of new sensations, not all welcomed at first, begin to make themselves known to you. If you experience discomfort within your own body, or uncertainty and a sense of expansion to include more of life in your thoughts and feelings, then you are conscious of this sacred convergence. It's like two worlds or more colliding. If you're sensitive, you will feel it happening as an important event without necessarily having a physical situation to attribute the experience to, or upon which to hang an explanation. You may also be encountering this in a very physical sense by finding yourself in situations which you previously would have avoided. You may be meeting people and thrown into relationship with them, apparently more by circumstance than by your own conscious choosing. This is a meeting of you with your shadow and something to rejoice in, even if it's uncomfortable at times. Be gentle and loving with yourself and kindly seek to find the beauty in what you are learning about yourself in your interactions and experiences. You are a wise soul seeking to know yourself rather than judge others. Remember your divine perfection as you are thrilled and challenged in this time of great growth. You are guided to be curious as though traveling to a foreign land and remaining open to experiencing its treasures. This oracle holds a message for you. A deeper part of yourself is calling you forward. Any discontent, struggle, anxiety, or fear is a subconscious recognition of this. Don't worry. You're a unique plant in the divine garden. You don't have to know what plant you are in order to grow. You just need to live each day, and the growth happens naturally. Then you can see over time the beauty of your true nature revealing itself to you. It will be a revelation to be relished. And the poem reads, from the white foam on the surface of blue to the mystery beneath the waves, wherever your travels may lead, may the artist's touch inspire us to explore the ocean realm and celebrate the beauty as land gives way to water and water to the unknown. Okay, so it's just allowing the divine to lead us where we're supposed to go, and us being in faith and allowing the flow to take us where we need to go, and converging with situations we may not normally let ourselves get into, but in that convergence comes out, something come out of it becomes very magical. Okay, so it's just to trust yourself and your intuition and know that you're ready to deal with any situation without planning for it. Okay, not getting ready for it, that you can do it no matter what. Just be yourself, be open-hearted, don't protect yourself, and then if situations get out of hand, sometimes you walk away, and if you get triggered, you know what to do. You walk away and deal with it on your own time, in your own way, and look for where this is coming from, but not taking it out on other people and not reacting to make the situation more than it has to be. Okay? So make sure you guys drink your water and get your rest and ground as much as you can, and just be happy and enjoy yourself. Okay? Get out there and have fun and enjoy your holidays. Okay? And rise and be loved, guys. Have an amazing week. Welcome back.